Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jimmy James. You're watching Catch It Live. First, we've got Hull FC against the mighty Wigan Warriors. We're watching it on Sky Sports Plus, so it's a few seconds behind. But Wigan are going to be getting us underway, kicking from right to left. Deep kick into Hull's left-hand corner. Return. They'll be starting on their own 10-metre line. Can't get used to that kit. I've just got a few bits of dotting of I's and crossing of T's, and then we'll be straight with you. Can you either let him out or just got a yapping Jack Russell at the back, which is really off-putting? He'll want to come back in once he's gone out, so we're not missing anything. And hopefully we're going to have some animations coming as well. As soon as we can find. Just to say as well, by the way, if you've got a Bet365 account, I can't put that on, apologies, although I'd like to, this stream would get taken down in a matter of seconds. Hopefully everything's all right with the volume. Which it's not, because I should have. We'll get there. We'll be with you in a second, don't you worry. Property, right, here we go. Now we want the... Hopefully that's going to do the job. Not quite. Worth sticking with us. Me apologies. Finishing work late. Curious as to why my desktop isn't picking up any noise, so... There we go. Right. We'll go through the team lineups in a second. I've just got one last thing to do, get the animation up there. Which I'm not sure why. There we go. Right. Oh my God. There we go. Hopefully everything's all right with that volume. We're not missing anything. Both teams are just going through the sets at the minute. Quick shout out. Let us know in chat what you're thinking. If your team's playing. Let me know if you're a Wigan supporter or if you're a Hull supporter. Right, everything should be good. Yeah, you can't get used to watching Hull FC not being with the black tops. Everything's just got to check the volume, seeing as no one's in chat to tell me. Yeah, a quick shout out. If you're a fan of either team or you just want to watch the rugby, just be aware that you can, if you've got a funded account, this is being streamed on Bet365. I'm assuming BetFred, sponsoring the league as well. I'm assuming they will have also... I'm assuming they'll also be streaming it live. Loose pass there from Wigan. High kick comes in there from Wigan and Sember goes up for it. Wardle tries patting it over to Marshall. Not accurate, would have been forward anyway, but it went out of touch. That'll be the handover to Hull. We'll go through the team lineups. Hull have gone with Rapana, Barron, Chamberlain, Briscoe, Scissor, SASA, Lane, Asiata, Cust, Aydin, Fash, Lewis and Bamforth. I like watching Brad Fash. Always something going on when he's playing, that's for sure. Wigan have gone with Field, Miskey's back, good to see. Kieran, Wardle, Marshall, French, Smith, Thompson and Sember, Farrell, Ellis, Byrne and Leeman. Fuller kicking on the fourth from their own 30 there. Not a lot of distance on it. Marshall picks it up on his own 20. And they're up to the Wigan's own 40. That's where they'll be starting this set of 6 from. Wardle tried breaking the line there. Brought down on halfway. And Sember in at dummy half. Spreads it right to Harry Smith. Thompson drives it forward. Met by a white wall. Reaming in at dummy half. Spreads it left to Smith. To Nsember. To Wardle. To Marshall. Marshall was going to get pushed into touch there, so he chips it forward for Jai Field. It's a try for the number 1 for Wigan. That was a lovely try. Wigan spreading it to the left-hand side. Wardle with the pass to Marshall. Marshall going down the wing, knew he was going to be going into touch. He had 2 or 3 Hull defenders converging on him, so he chipped it inside. And Jai Field was backing up. Lovely pace on the kick from Marshall as well. Nothing really there that Hull did wrong. Just a good try from Wigan. It was Chamberlain, who is a bit of a unit, isn't he? He wasn't going to get back. He was the man who was going to put the tackle in on Field. Too big to get there though. That was a lovely kick and a good try. Good take as well from Field, because as he got to the ball, it bounced up and back at him. So he did well to take that in hand and plonk it down. At last, Wigan played 80 minutes plus extra time against Lee. Couldn't get on the scoreboard. It's taken, 7.5 minutes here. And they'd taken the lead. They needed to as well. They won't have been happy with last week's performance against Lee, that is for sure. Wigan, they looked really good in that match early on. But Lee were just soaking up the pressure for the first 15 minutes, something like that. And after that, they came into their own, and it was a real... You couldn't have complained if the match had been a tie after 80 minutes, obviously. That's not what happens, because we're going to added time in the extra point. Kieran with the kick going over, giving Wigan an early lead here at Hull. I don't know if it's the camera angle, but the posts at Hull, they look like they're bending outwards at the top. Maybe it's just the camera, the optical illusion of the camera. But they look like the ones that you'd see on a Parks field on a Sunday. Hull got off to a good start, didn't they, beating Catalan? Wigan got off to, let's be honest, a bit of a shocker. It's not a shocker that they lost to Lee. Lee on the day, decent side. And in this league, let's be honest, on a day, any team can beat any team. But I think it was the fact that they didn't get on the score sheet in 80 minutes and added on time. That's what the shock was from that result, not the fact that they lost to Lee. Anyway, we're back underway. Byrne driving it forward over his own 20, Lehman in at dummy half, spreads it left to Nsemba. Nsemba one out. Takes 1, 2, 3, 4 Hull players to bring him down. They do well though, though. Wigan only up to their own 30. Inside to Cade Ellis. Wigan just going over the halfway line now, Liam Byrne. Fifth tackle, Smith's going to be kicking just inside Hull's half. He puts it down the left-hand side for Wigan. And it's taken in the corner by Barron. Full centre field, over their own 20. Met by Nsemba, Farrell, Lehman. Chamberlain in at dummy half. Not really getting anywhere, Hull, with this set. Now they decide to spread it to the right-hand side. Almost broke the line though with Brad Fash. Up to halfway line. A good handoff there on Harry Smith. He comes back for a second attempt though, does Smith. And fifth tackle. Hull are going to put it into the right-hand corner for them. It's picked up by Marshall. Marshall was going to get pushed into touch, so he strayed away. Flicks it inside to field, and Wigan will be starting on their own 10-metre line. Wardle in at dummy half. Out to Marshall. Marshall gets clattered. Keeps hold of the ball, though. And now it's Miski's turn to drive it forward. The wingers are doing... Forwards love it, don't they, when wingers do this? Let the forwards get some air in the lungs while the wingers come in and do some of the heavy lifting. 4 tackles gone for Wigan. Kick comes in from Lehman there. It's gonna be picked up just shy of the 10-metre line. And Hull will be starting this set inside their own 20 down that left-hand side. Hull FC, they signed quite a few players, didn't they, from Lee Leopards. I think they signed 3 or 4 players. Briscoe up to his own 30. Missed pass there from Fash, and Barron went without the ball there down the right-hand side. Big unit for a fullback. Came into the wing there. Now there's a no-arms tackle, is there? Oh, Marshall went in all right there with nothing wrong with that. What's the referee saying? Oh, saying late contact, so it's a penalty to Hull, just inside their own half. Put that ball into touch, it will be on Wigan's 30 that they'll be starting. Spreading it to the left-hand side from the right-hand side. They've got numbers there, but too slow the pass there. And Briscoe's wrapped up. 13 minutes gone. Hull 0, Wigan 6. Dryfield with the converted try. Hull are trying to come down this right-hand side now. Barron again. They're going to try and drive him into touch. He's running to touch. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. He had 6 Wigan players dragging him into touch then. And as big as he is, that's just too much firepower. There was Marshall, there was Nsemba, there was Smith, there was Field, there was Wardle, all trying to drive. And just for good measure, Cade Ellis got there, but he was too late. Barron was already in touch, so... Going to be a handover to Wigan, centre field, just outside their own 20. driven up by, is that Patrick Mago? Did I miss an interchange there? Or did they not show us? No, sorry, it's Abbas Miski. I need to put my glasses on. That's what's going on. How can you mistake Abbas Miski for Patrick Mago? I don't think we'll see Mago until the second half, to be honest. Now Wigan have got a penalty. Kieran stands up, throws the ball at a Hull player, which you don't need to do. He's always got that in his locker. Whenever Kieran plays, he's a great player. He's a good player, and he has great moments. I won't say he's a great player yet, but once he stood up, got the penalty, stood up, threw the ball at a Hull player. Not hard, but it's things like that where the referees, they're likely to turn around and say we were going to reverse the penalty. Leeming in at dummy half. And Sember, he was a little bit static then, so he's just going to take the tackle. About 30 metres out from Hull's line, down this left-hand side. If you're joining us late, Wigan kicking from right to left. Now they're spreading it to the right. It's driven in by Cade Ellis. As a kick comes in there from Smith, it's taken by Barron on his own 10. He goes straight to ground. Learned his lesson. He doesn't want driving into touch, that's for sure. Ben Goble, good to see you in the chat, my friend. Long time no speak since the last rugby was on. Ben says, what are your thoughts on the Golden Point loss last week? I don't know if you heard me saying before, Ben. I'm not surprised with a Golden Point loss against Lee. I thought Lee played really well. First match of the season. Everybody's still getting into it, regardless of how many pre-season friendlies you've played. So the fact, it wouldn't surprise me if we'd have got a loss to Lee. The fact we lost by a Golden Point to Lee, disappointing. You wouldn't expect it, but it's not a massive shock, especially first game of the season. What was a shock to me was the scoreboard. And the fact that Wigan couldn't put any points on the board. Because the first 10-15 minutes, it looked like it was going to be all Wigan to me anyway. And I think Lee just soaked up that pressure. And whether Wigan thought the same as well, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy night, but yeah, we've got this. And then Lee started throwing that ball about a little bit, got a bit of confidence, and the rest of the night is history. The fact that it was a 0-0 was a shock to me, to be honest, the way both teams played. Jay Fields got a little bit of a break on here. He's put down on the halfway line. Ben says, Harry Smith had a chance to kick a drop goal about 5 minutes left. Good defence from both teams. It was good defence from both teams, mate. And you know that kick that you're talking about, when Smith had the chance to put a drop goal attempt over, is that the one where, are you thinking of the one where he put the kick in instead? Because literally, I thought if it goes, it was, was it Lamb? He got his fingertips to it, didn't he, and made the catch. And literally, Bevan French is behind him, waiting to grab the ball and plonk it down. If he does that, it's a different story, isn't it? So it was a bit of a disappointment in hindsight that Smith didn't go for the drop goal. But it's a matter of, it's millimetres, isn't it? The 0 to 0. But it was a good take by Lamb. It was unlucky. And I think on the night, like you said, both defences were fantastic. But considering it was a 0-0 game, it was a really entertaining game. I thought it was anyway. If you're a neutral, I suppose you'd be wanting to see tries and what have you. But I thought it was a really good team. Ben says, just thought with such little time left, go for the points on the board. Yeah, I agree. And at the time, I was thinking. He was in the position, wasn't he, to the left, and it was a little bit flat when I watched it back, and he was a little bit flat and the angle was a little bit tight, and I think that's why he went for the chip to try and get Bevan French in. But in saying that, with his experience, he should have been in a better angle because he went really narrow. And part of me wondered if they'd lost count. You know, whether they thought there was another tackle, whether it's like they weren't set for. They definitely didn't set up for a drop goal, that is for sure. Which, like you said, so close to the end of the game, you'd think with their experience as well that is what they would have gone for. But first game of the season, though, maybe the counting's a little bit off. What did you think of it? Were you? I know it was a record-breaking match, wasn't it? The first time in history that a 0-0 scoreline has been achieved. I bet, and I think I said in the live stream as well, how many people will have done their brains in money-wise, you know, laying the 0-0. I bet on BetFred, there's people who lost absolutely. In fact, I know they will have. They'll have lost thousands upon thousands of pounds. Wigan trying to spread it down the left-hand side here. And Semba gets tackled just over the 30. 4 tackles gone. Wigan spreading it right now. Tyler Dupree's on. Liam Burns gone off. Lehman tried running through himself to put a little chip kick through. Didn't get a good contact on it though. So good defence from Hull. Wasted effort from Wigan. And Just Jade. Hope you're well, Jimmy. Still tuning in when I can. Good to see you. Cousin Jade. Ben says, couldn't believe the scoreline. Was disappointed we lost, but still a decent game to watch. Thoughts on the Farrell sin bin? I'll tell you in 1 second, mate. Hull are trying to come down the right-hand side here. They've put a kick in, but field comes across. Hopefully it's going to bounce all the way over the line. It does indeed. 20-metre restart to Wigan. Farrell sin bin, he was stupid to do it. I know he was frustrated, and really, if they'd have gone back and had a look at that, he was obstructed. But even so, kicking the ball away, I'm assuming that it's a new directive that the referees have had, because you'll see it so many times this season. Players frustrated, they kick the ball away. Are they all going to get 10 minutes in the bin? We will see. We know the referees often change tack, don't they, midway through the season. But yeah, stupid from him. But you can understand it when he's you can understand it with his frustration. So I suppose you can forgive him that. What I can't forgive is Kieran with that swinging arm. I watched it back, and I didn't quite understand why at first why the referee had blown up. But then when you see Wigan are in down the right hand side here, lovely pass out to Miski, picks it up on chalk on his boots, goes in unopposed. That'll be another 4 point, That's another 4 points on the board for Wigan. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I thought they were going to look for a forward pass, then it definitely wasn't. Yeah, Kieran, whether that was frustration, I don't know, but you can't do that. You could do that in the old days, no doubt, but there's so many cameras about now, you're not going to get away with it. Hopefully he's not going to have one of them seasons. We need him to sort his discipline out. He already missed the final last year, didn't he, because of ill discipline. Ben Global says, poor from a senior player, but thought it was a clear obstruction in the first place. Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. But the referee, he just wasn't interested in that, was he? He wasn't. I don't think he asked about it. I think he was just a bit fed up. He'd had a bit of that off Farrell all night, hadn't he? Farrell getting in his ear. So I think that's why he was a little bit, you can have some of that, son. Off you go for 10. Ben Goble says, Kieran's play was just stupid. Yeah, it was. It was. And do you know, last year, I don't think he can. Is it my eyes or are them posts on the bonk? It looks like the posts are on the bonk to me, but it's probably my eyes. He was. He missed his spot in the final, didn't he, through ill discipline last year. And when, after the match where he got sent off, they asked Matty Pete, didn't they, about what do you think about Kieran? And to be fair, Matty Pete came out and sort of said it's his own fault, he deserved it, so I've no sympathy for him. Not in as many words, but that's what he was basically saying. He's not got his kicking boots on there. That one got a distance, but no accuracy with the direction finder, so it remains Hull 0, Wigan 10. 24 minutes gone. And this down here is slightly faster than what I'm watching it on Sky Plus. But yeah, if you are joining us late, if you want to watch this live, if you've got a funded Bet365 account, they are live streaming it. I'm not sure if BetFred are, but I'm assuming, like I said, with them being the league sponsor, I'm assuming they'll be live streaming it as well. So if you want commentary, feel free to watch us here at Catch It Live first. But if you want to watch it as well, or if you just want to watch it, Bet365 and BetFred, I think. Quick Super League update. This is the other issue. Warrington are playing Catalans. It's currently Warrington 0, Catalan 2. I wish Sky wouldn't keep doing this, putting the scores up, because I want to record the other game and watch it later. But they keep putting the scores up, and I said last year, I wondered if contractually they're obliged that they've got to put the scores up. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it. It just spoils the evening for the rugby. Hull in possession, on their own 20, centre field. 26 minutes gone, almost. Hull driving it straight up the middle there. Oh dear me. Somebody's players are shouting straight away for the trainer to come on. Who's that for Hull? Oh, so he's dislocated his kneecap. It's gone down the side of his leg. Ugh. Oh dear. Has it gone? He's knocked it back in on himself. Oh, good shout. Good shout, that man. He got tackled by Nsemba. And I couldn't see who else it was there. Definitely was so, and I thought his kneecap had gone down the side of his leg. Oh, they're going to show us. Oh, do you know what? He fell into the tackle there against Tyler Dupree and Nsemba, and Dupree stood up straight away and went, whoa, get the trainer on. But he almost fell into the tackle like his kneecap had gone down the side of his leg before the tackle actually happened. And then he pushed it back in himself. Blimey O'Reilly, governor. Yeah, he's still got his swelling already as well. You can see it. So, oh. Yeah, Tyler Dupree saying straight away, get the trainer on his knee. He's not going to carry on after that, surely. His knee's swelling up already. Yeah, I don't know if that happened before he actually got in the tackle, because he kind of fell into the tackle like his leg had given way. So whether he just fell into the tackle and then he caught his knee on Tyler Dupree and that's what knocked his kneecap around, I don't know. But he's still down, as you would expect. He looks fine in himself. He's sat up, but you can see his knee swelling. They're not trying to keep him on, surely. He just sat up like, yeah, I think my knees. They're going to have to take him off, surely. Slabio's going to come on in his place, number 31. Oh no, he's gone on his push bike. I don't know why he's not coming off. Are they waiting? Surely they're going to wait for a stretcher then. I don't know how big an injury that is if he kneecap dislocated, you know. Pops. It came, it's back in place now, but his leg's just being kept straight. They're not going to let him walk off, surely get him on a stretcher. Or they're going to carry him off on the shoulders. Well, come on, get a stretcher. They're trying to carry him off. He's got his arms round, one arm round each physio. And then they tried lifting him up by his legs. Well, he's just done his knee in. Get him on a stretcher. Yeah, he's having to lie back down on the floor now. This is crazy, this. Get a stretcher on there. Surely to God somebody's got a couple of £100 and bought a stretcher. Yeah, a bit of a delay in play here now. They are waiting for a stretcher. There we go. I don't know what the weight limit on the stretcher is, but it looks a little bit flimsy. So this has got to be one of the smallest stretchers I've ever seen. Ben Goble says, favourite Wigan player of all time? Ooh, that's a good one, mate. Well, Sean Edwards is definitely in there. Sean Edwards is definitely in there. I used to like Andy Gregory. I used to like watching Ellery Hanley as well. But then you got Chris Radlinski. That's a difficult question, that, mate. Good question. Difficult question for the end of the week when my brain's fading. But, I don't know, mate. I don't know. If I had a gun at my head now, I would say Sean Edwards. I would say Sean Edwards. Fifth tackle, kick comes in. Long kick, it's taken on the 20 by Jai Field. He's up to the 30, met by a wall of white. Yes, Salabio has come on as a substitution. Abasmiski driving it in, gets driven back there by Salabio and Brad Fash. You don't often see Abasmiski driven back like that, but he was on that occasion. Ben, if you're still there, who's your favourite Wigan player? Wigan spreading it down that right hand side. That's a forward pass there from Bevan French. He got away with it. Farrell had just overrun him, really. Fifth tackle coming up. Smith's going to put a high kick in on the 30. It's going to land on the 10. Barron's up there. Then he's clattered by Nsemba. Keeps hold of the ball, though. And Hull will get us back underway with a new set of 6. Ben Goble says, Sam Tompkins or Pat Richards for me. Yeah, both good shouts, mate. Being a younger lad, yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing, isn't it? I mean, I suppose there'll be people older than me watching this who will be saying, oh yeah, Billy Boston, and who would be saying, I'm saying that my granddad's in his 90s, and my granddad's good friends with Liam Marshall, actually, because he still lives in, that's a high tackle from Forber. Forber's come on, so I'm taking it, Cruz Leaming's gone off. I've missed that interchange. High kick comes in. Field takes it, then he gets absolutely mullered. Keeps hold of the ball though, and Wigan will be starting on their own 20. Marshall brings it forward. Tell you what, it's not easy on this whole pitch to see the markings. Wigan up to their own 30. Forber spreads it left to Smith. Smith misses outfield there to Wardle. Wardle's trying to get up to the halfway line. Just short of the halfway line. Cust gives him a little bit of a rub around the face, as they do. Is Smith going to kick on the fourth? No, they're going to spread it to the right now. There was a missed tackle on Bevan French there. Now he puts a little chip in over the top. It was a poor kick, really. And it just bounced in play, but it got no distance on it. Ben Goble says, I think Billy Boston is one of my granddad's favourites. Yeah. Line what? 54 this year. So, for me, Wigan in the 80s was a team that I remember. 80s and, you know, my earliest sort of team. One thing I did do, go and watch the first ever World Club Challenge against Manly. And whatever they said, we were packed in like sardines. Whatever the crowd was, add another 10,000 on it. Definitely. Add another 10,000. Ball on the halfway line, 2 tackles gone. They're coming across the right-hand side, looking to straighten it up there. Little offload. Should have kept hold of it, really, but Chamberlain manages to keep hold of it. Now they're trying to spread it to the left-hand side. Slavio comes on, loose first touch. Not a good pass to him, but he should have kept hold of that. He's knocked it on, so Wigan will take possession, and they're trying to bring it back now with Miski. Miski with the pass there to Farrell. It's like everybody's going with the offload. Wigan have lost about 10, 15 metres. So they'll, no advantage there, so they'll come back for the scrum, head and feet to Wigan, just inside Wigan's half. Yeah, this down here is it's slightly ahead of what I'm watching on here. That's the problem with Sky Plus. Can't complain because at least we get to watch the match, but unless it's on the main channel, there's a delay because it's streamed as opposed to being live in the done as a live in the normal way. 31 minutes gone. Hull 0, Wigan 10. Field and Miski with the tries. Kieran takes it over the halfway line there. Forber in at dummy half. Spreads it left to... That is Patrick Mago, who's just come on. He's over the 40, trying to get to the 30. Takes 4 Hull players with him. Forber in at dummy half. Spreads it to Cade Ellis. Ellis to Smith. Smith to Nsemba. Nsemba bounces off the tackles, then makes another couple of metres before he's tackled again. Brad Fash is in there. Forber spreads it. Oh, dear me, that's a knock on, surely. Cade Ellis drove that ball forward. It popped out. Last year, they would have given that as a knock on, even though it went backwards, but he got away with it this year. So maybe that's a new directive as well. Tyler Dupree trying to drive it under the post there. He's going to be stopped a metre short. Forber with a short pass to Patrick Mago. You're not going to stop him. He just pops it under the post from about 2 metres out. Too easy this for Wigan, and a complete contrast from what they had to put up with last week with Lee's defence. A little bit slack there from Hull, to be honest. And Ben Goble says, grand final winners this year. Oh, that's a tricky one, mate. That's a tricky one. Let's be honest, St Helens are not going to have as bad a season as they had last year, surely not. I know that result against Salford was an absolute hammering. Salford putting the second team out, or whatever you want to say. For me, if you're at a club, then it's up to the manager which team he picks. If you're prepared to put up with a good hammering like they got, then by all means play your, let's call them, without being rude to them, let's call them your lesser players, or early in the career perhaps. But I think at this stage, I think for who's going to win the league, it's going to be the usual contenders again, isn't it? And I think this year you can put St Helens back in. It's going to be between St Helens, Warrington. Be interested to see whether Hull KR have another good season. But do you know what concerns me, Ben? That Wigan, in the transfer market close season, made one signing. So they've either got... Yeah, Wire could be up there. Kick from Kieran, blimey. I'm not surprised he kicked that. I would have kicked it. I've got a feeling either Matty Pete has got real confidence in... He's got real confidence in the youth coming through, or he's hoping that there's no injuries. Because that's my only concern with Wigan bringing one player in from Oldham. So it's yeah, that's my only concern with Wigan. But yeah, no reason why Wigan can't. It'd keep everybody fit, keep everybody, as many of them major injury free as you can. Then yeah, they could do it again. It's going to be a difficult season though. Walters has come on. He always frustrates me. He's so big, and yet he seems to get pushed around a bit compared to his size. Wigan trying to come down this left-hand side, and Sember over the 30, brought down. Forbert in at dummy half. Spreads it right to Smith. Wigan on the fourth tackle. Poor pass there to Bevan French, missing outfield, but not a knock-on, so he'll drive it forward again. This tackle coming up for Wigan. Smith from Hull's 40 puts a high kick in. It's going to land. Did that land in touch? No. So Barron drives it forward. They're going to be starting from about 5 yards out, pretty central. 2 tackles gone, and they're up to about 15 metres. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. Are we going to have some? I mean, when you look at, and one game doesn't make a season, but if Lee play like that all season, they're going to be up there without a shadow of a doubt. Once you get into the playoffs, on any given day, as we know, any team can win. I think it's going to be interesting who's going to win the league. This tackle for Hull there. Kick comes in from their own 40. Marshall picks it up on his own 20. Yeah, they're not into these markings on the pitch either at Hull. Liam Farrell gets over his own 40. May go to Smith, to Field. They're coming down the left-hand side. Marshall dummies the pass, trying to come inside to Wardle. It's batted down. Field picks it up, hits the floor. Is that a Reese? That's got to be another set of 6. It certainly is. Ben Goble says, favourite current player. My favourite current player has got to be... I like watching Bevan French. I like watching Miski, who's on the ball now. Probably, I'm going to say Liam Marshall. That's going to be a try for Wigan there, and they're going to go upstairs for this though, surely. I know he's given it. The Hull players are saying to the referee they're appealing for... I'm not sure, it just didn't look like... It didn't look right, that try. I want to see what happened here again. It came off. It must have been... It came off a Hull player. So it was Marshall inside. That got knocked forward. And a fresh set of 6 for Wigan. They spread it to the right-hand side. Oh, what it was Bevan French tried to put a kick into the corner. There was a Hull player stuck his hand out to block it, and it diverted the ball the other way. And Field on the inside, Johnny on the spot, just picked the ball up and plunked it on the floor. That'll be another 4 points to Wigan. Hull 0, Wigan 20, conversion to come. Favourite current player? I would say Liam Marshall, purely because he's got his... he's exciting when he's got the ball. You know, he can either go down the wing with his pace, he can either cut inside and lay it off, he can chip that ball forward like he did today for Wigan's try for Field. And his heart's as big as a lion, isn't it, when he drives that ball forward. The only thing that lets him down occasionally, and it's a tiny little gripe, sometimes is defence. He can make a poor decision, but he makes so few poor decisions that when he does, it stands out. So that's kudos to him, that is for sure. Kieran with the kick, no problem there. Wigan with a 22-zip lead. Ben Goble says, can see a slow start for us. I like watching Bevan, Field and December. Yeah, Bevan French is exciting, isn't he? And Wigan certainly missed him last year when he was laid up with injury. But what's it? I can't remember the young lad's name that they've got coming through. I forgot his name. It's been a long week, but there must be some exciting youth players coming through as well. For Wigan to only sign one player close season, they've not built or felt the need to build the squad up, so hopefully we'll see some excitement there. And we've got Brad O'Neill, who was out injured most of last year, wasn't he? But then we had Cruz Lehman came and he settled in well without O'Neill being there. And that gives Forber his chance to come in and do his thing. And Forber, he doesn't weaken the side, does he, when they spell him with Lehman? But then again, I like watching Abbas Miski. I know he gets mixed reviews from Wigan fans, Abbas Miski, but for me, I don't know what there isn't, what's not to like about him. Wigan spreading it left here. Wardle, he's got Marshall on his outside, but he's taking the space that Marshall was going to run in, so he puts a little chip kick inside. It was the last tackle before the hooter goes, that's half time. And feel they should have done better though with that Wigan, but good first half for them. Keeping a clean sheet and getting 22 on the board themselves after last week. They'll be happy with that, that is for sure. Just get a little bit of quiet while we're on half time. Ben, who are you thinking for the league win? I know it's difficult at this stage of the season, and a lot can happen between now and even to halfway through the season with injuries and odd results and this, that, and the other. But who are you thinking for the league title, and who are you thinking for the grand final victory? Truth be told, if we could have a grand final and somebody asks you the question now, who do you want to see in the grand final? For me, St Helens and Wigan would be a good final. It's always a good game, isn't it, against St Helens? When they're up to, when both teams are firing, them games are something else. But yeah, it will be interesting to see if Hull KR can replicate what they did last season. Because, to be honest, when I look back on that season, I think Hull KR, they were a little bit unlucky, weren't they? You know, to not win the league. It was that game when they played Wigan, and it was that man Patrick Mago, wasn't it, who got Wigan over the line. So I think they'd be a little bit disappointed, Hull KR, not to have won the league title. Ben says, could see the Wire or Saints with the league leaders shield. In respect of, not sure, Ben says, not sure with the grand final. Can see us getting there against one of those two. Yeah. It'll, what are your thoughts on Wigan in the transfer market? You know, off season. I don't understand. I can't understand them not going into the transfer market and just making the one signing. They must have a plan in mind in respect to bringing youth through. And ultimately, after last season, the one thing that is for sure, it's 100% sure, they are not going to better what they did last season. You know, the four competitions that they entered, the four they won. And I think it was down to ultimately, it was the defence that won them the 4 trophies. World Club Challenge, it was the defence that definitely won them that. But then if you've got a defence like it is, ultimately, does that affect your attacking capabilities? You'd have to say against Lee last week, yeah. But that was an odd game, and Lee did put in a good performance, like I said. So Ben says, I suppose if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. So I agree with you. And I think I said that in the first game when I was querying at half-time why they haven't been into the transfer market like I expected them to. You know, the best time to strengthen your squad is when you're on top. And if you get when Miski was out last year, was he missed? Yeah, he's a good player. He was missed. But the juggernaut that was Wigan still kept on moving forward, getting results. And I think they adapted to Bevan French not being in the team. And it then gives players like Eckersley a chance to come in and shine. And you look at Eckersley, for me, he's an integral part of this, not squad. I think he's an integral part of this team. So bringing these players through, we can understand. But if Wigan lose, let's say they have a nightmare scenario, you lose Field, you lose French, you lose Miski, something goes awry with Liam Marshall, that's only 4 players out of your team and out of your squad. But who's going to come in? Who's going to replace? Who's going to replace them? Obviously, for I'm going to answer my own question here that I keep asking. Why weren't they more active in the transfer market off season? I think they know that the youth that they've got coming through, I think they know that they've got cover and they've got talent, and that's why. Why go and spend money on players that are probably out there but not better than what you've got? That's my only thought, the only scenario where I can think you don't win the transfer market. Ben says, Eckersley looks a great player. He does, mate, doesn't he? He does. And he looks like he's versatile. And when you think, another thing, and Sember, how old's Sember? About 12. You know, he's only a young lad, isn't he? Oh, there's an issue, it's saying, with my stream, so apologies if it's gone a little bit on the bonk. There's and Sember came on as a youngster, and he got a few substitute appearances, didn't he? And now he's an integral part of this current Wigan team. So it's like they're automatically, because they come from the club and are getting promoted through the club, through the ranks. I suppose in theory that answers your question as why you're not as active in the transfer market close season. If there's nobody out there and available who's going to be better than what you've got and what you've got coming through, why go in the transfer market at all? Ben Goble says, look to have put on some size in the off-season. Are you talking about Ensemble or are you talking about Eckersley? I thought Eckersley had put on a little bit of timber. He's bulked up a little bit, hasn't he? And Ensemble, blimey. I mean, hopefully he's stopped growing now. He's an absolute unit. But do you know what? I know it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good, powerful player if you're a big unit. Because like I was saying in that first half, Walters for me, when you look at the size of him, Eckersley, yeah, definitely has put a bit of bulk on. Walters, though, when you look at the size of him, he does seem, it's almost like they get under his ribs and drive him and drive him back. Whereas you get somebody like Liam Marshall or Abbas Miski. And Sember is a unit anyway. Yeah, how old is he now? What is he, 19 or something like that? Hopefully he has stopped growing. Somebody's just been and nicked my juice. You fill that up.
I am.
Yeah, just Jade was in earlier.
Oh, bless her. She good?
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, Ben, he's definitely come through the ranks, taking his opportunity. Have you heard of anybody coming through this season from Wigan's youth, or who's sort of knocking on the door of getting in the first team squad? Because I've got to say I haven't, but I love watching. The thing is, I love watching Wigan, and I like my rugby league, but I'm not, and I don't profess to be, I'm not an aficionado of Wigan or rugby league. I never played rugby. I went training twice when I was a youngster. I thought, it's not for me. I was more bothered about not getting absolutely flattened and what have you than playing the game. Whereas the lads who were really into the rugby, they were getting the ball, they were thinking, what am I going to do with it? I was thinking, who's going to be mullering me? And just like, stick to football, stick to cricket. So it's so that's where. But I know there's some guys out there, Wigan Warriors is their religion. And I didn't know if you'd heard of anybody coming through the ranks. What I see on the web page and what have you, but you don't always hear all of the proper gossip there. But it'd be nice if they had some youngsters coming through. Tell you one player I did like last season, I can't remember his name. The guy from was he at Warrington? Only a youngster, quite small. Used to play fullback, I think. And he was absolute dynamite. But really, like, as soon as he got the ball, if you didn't close him down or make a tackle within the first 5 or 6 seconds and you give him space, He was an absolute nightmare. He was just ripping teams apart, and I can't remember what his name was. And I think it was because he was a youngster and quite new. Nobody knew anything about him. So when he came on, nobody really thought that he was a threat. And you saw him in his first 2, 3, 4 games. He was making people and seasoned pros look stupid and pedestrian. And after that, I think people started saying, "Hang on a minute, this young lad, we need to keep an eye on him if we're going to kick the ball, and he's going to have some space. We need to, be out." So they started trying to work out what he was doing, and he wasn't quite as effective, but still early in his career. So I'm sure he'll work his way around that. But I've forgotten what his name was. I see him now in his blue. Was it Leeds? Was it Warrington? I can't remember. But as soon as when he came on, he was another one who got his chance through injury, and who was it? I don't know. It'll probably come to me tonight when I've fallen asleep. I'll wake up about 3 in the morning going, "Oh yeah, I remember who it was." Doesn't help this stream, does it? Super League hits Las Vegas, Wigan v Warrington. We are taking it over to America, aren't we? They're saying that's where the future is of the funding anyway. So it's Wigan, Warrington, Canberra. Can't remember who else it was up there then. But yeah, they're going to try and tap into the American market, rugby league. It can only be good for the game as long as they don't try and Americanise it too much. Some good games tomorrow as well. Salford and Leeds, Castleford St Helens, and Sunday it's Leigh and Huddersfield. It'll be interesting to see Leigh in their second game of the season, whether they can replicate and progress. Ben says he hasn't seen anything, but St Pat's always create good players. Yeah, that was in, if you're joining us late, that was in my question, asking if he knew of any youngsters or anybody who was progressing into the first team squad due to Wigan's lack of movement in the transfer market. Players are coming back out now, by the way. Looks like they've taken a decent crowd to Hull, Wigan. You off, pal?
Jimmy James, you streaming?
Yeah.
Well, Henry James is off to Barcelona.
Yeah, Henry James, he's off to Barcelona tonight. When are you back next Saturday? Yeah, you bet you've nicked me euros, haven't you?
I've nicked 15 euros.
Yeah.
Spend them somewhere.
Yeah, well done, son. Yeah, send us a message tomorrow when you get there.
Yeah, I will. I'll show you what it is. Love you, Dad.
Fantastic. Love you too, son. Have a good time. Barcelona don't know what's going to hit it. Second half's just going to set off. So we have got Hull kicking from right to left this time to get us underway. High kick. Picked up by Bevan French. Handed off to Liam Byrne. Byrne's going to drive it up to the 20-metre line. Walters trying to get up to the 30. Gets stopped just short. I always expect him to do better with his size than he does, Walters. And Sember driving it towards the 40. Brad Fash is in there. Hands all over Nsembe's face. Mago starting the second half. Little offload there to Jai Field just short of the halfway line. Wigan's got numbers on the right hand side, but Field's wrapped up. He manages to get an offload away fortuitously, really. It was picked up by Farrell. Farrell hits the deck on Hull's 40-metre line, centre field. Bevan French puts a chip kick in over the top. It's going to run into goal. Is there too much on it? Yeah, too much on it. 20-metre restart to Hull. Ben says, score predictions for Wyatt versus the Dragons. Blimey. Barron has just split Wigan wide open there. He's going to go all the way unless Field gets across. Field with a good tackle. On Wigan's 10, spreading it to the right-hand side. Wigan's defensive line's just getting set. Marshall thinks about going for the interception, then steps back. Now Wigan are going to drag. Great defence there from Wigan. They've dragged the Hull player. I can't see who it is. I think it was Braithwaite. Chamberlain, sorry. It was Chamberlain. 4 Wigan players dragged him over the sideline. Ooh, bit of a high tackle there from Field. Are they going to go back for that? Oh, there is a penalty to Hull, but it wasn't for a high tackle. It was for offside. YAV Dragons. I don't know. Do you know? I've got a feeling it could be a thrashing for Catalan. I think I could see. I could see Warrington winning by 6 or 7 tries. Ten metres out there, Hull, central. Now they're spreading it right. Ooh, stepped inside, but wrong choice because he stepped right into Nsemba. Can't see who it is. 4 tackle, just gone. Oh, floated over the top. That's a lovely try there. French can't get over quick enough. It was a ball floated over the top to the left-hand side, and Martin, is it Martin? I don't know all of the... yeah, it was Lewis Martin. Perfect pass that. Spread to this left-hand side, and the final pass needed to be floated over Bevan French, which was. French got to Martin, but too late, as he was... sliding over the line. Yeah, I've got a feeling the Wyatt could win by 5 or 6 tries in that match. Of course, could be wrong, but just a gut feeling. I think Catalan might struggle this year. It's funny with the Super League. There's usually somebody struggles who you don't expect to, and there's usually 1 or 2 teams come out of the pack and overachieve. Good support still from the Hull faithful. This is going to be a difficult kick for Cesar, or Cesar, however you want to say his name. It's right on the touchline, about 22 yards out down his left-hand side, and he's a left footer. Ooh, just didn't shape it enough with enough bend on it. Went half a yard past the near post. Well, the crowd are up for it anyway. They've got something to cheer about now. But that kick came about from Barron breaking the line. And just watching this tackle coming again, he went a bit high there as well, Field. Got away with it. Ben says. I think that might be Lee this year. Coming out of the pack. And do you know last season, Ben? Lee, they had that spell, didn't they, where they didn't really... They had a poor run of games, and it was at the end where they were pushing to trying to get into the playoffs. And when they had to get the results and that, they were getting them. And it's like, where were these performances when you were losing? You were losing a good few games on the bounce. What? No, the referee's saying he's not played it properly, so he sent him back from the restart. And it's like, we've not played it properly. Is that not a free kick? Penalty. Just over their own 20. Hull, SASA, driving it forward. Now they're trying to go down this right-hand side. Short ball there to Brad Fash. He's tackled by Sember and Smith. Now they're just going towards the halfway line. SASA, little handoff there. Well, where was this play from Hull in the first half? Now they're getting the handoffs, they're throwing it about. High kick comes into the corner for Wigan. Abasmiski goes up unchallenged, juggles it at the first attempt, then hits the floor. Wigan will be starting from their own 10. Spread left to Kieran. Kieran into... blimey. Gets battered there to the floor. Not tackled to the floor, battered to the floor. Now Marshall's bringing it out. They're about 20 yards out. Wardle driving it forward. Forber in at dummy half. He goes left to Smith. Smith's going to put the kick in. Puts it central actually. It's a good kick. It's going to land right between the posts, about 5 yards out. Great kick that. Chase is good for Wigan as well. So Hull will be starting on their own 20. And on Sky, all of the stats have gone off. There's no clock, there's no tackle count, there's nothing. So we don't need it though. That was Barron driving forward, put his hand into the face of Forber there. Forber didn't like it, so once he'd made the tackle, he returned the favour. That looked like a high tackle from Nsemba. No, he's let him get away with it. Everybody looked round then, waiting for the referee blowing his whistle. Ben says, Premier League predictions this weekend. High kick comes in. Miski picks that ball up unchallenged. Spreads it left to Field. Field just outside his own 10. Short pass there to Marshall. Marshall gets up to his own 20. Premier League predictions. I'm not sure, mate. I can't remember a lot of the games, if I'm honest. I've done my Super 6 as well. I tell you, getting old, my brain's getting a bit forgetful. It's been a long week. We'll have a look in a minute. Ooh, Mago with a short pass to Walters there. Thought he broke the line and Brad Fash just held onto his leg. Little chip comes into the left-hand corner. Awful chip though from Smith. Out on the full. So it'll be a head and feed to Hull. Just inside their own half. That's not good enough, that. He wasn't really under a lot of pressure either. Let's have a look, mate. Let's have a butchers. Premier League. Well, spoiler alert now. I'm going to tell you tonight's Premier League results score so far. So if you don't want to listen to it, shut your ears for 5 seconds. It is Leicester 0, Brentford 3. So that looks like a done deal. I know tomorrow lunchtime Man United are playing Everton. That's going to be a difficult game for United, that. Moyes has got Everton getting results, hasn't he? I'll go for a draw in that one. Arsenal, West Ham. Arsenal win there. Wolves and Bournemouth. I would go for... I think that could be a draw. Fulham, Crystal Palace. I'd go with Fulham. Ipswich and Tottenham. I think Tottenham will get a result away at Ipswich. Southampton, Brighton. I think that could be a draw. I think Southampton might get a point against Brighton. Aston Villa, Chelsea. Got to say that'll be a draw. Newcastle, Nottingham Forest. I'll go for the Toon to get a result. Man City, Liverpool. That could be absolutely anything. I'll say, I can't pick a winner, so I'll say a draw. I'll say a draw. That's my predictions for the Premier League this weekend. Wigan on Hull's 40, central. Short pass to Dupree, but he was pretty static there. Can't make much ground. Forber in at dummy half, goes to his right to Walters. Walters drives it in. Makes about half a yard after contact, as per usual. Doesn't make a lot of yardage, does he, Walters, for his size. Now Wigan are spreading it left. And Sember, who's got 4 Hull defenders, knocked him back about a yard, and that's it. Brad Fash was in there. Forber spreads it to Smith. Now it's with Dupree. He's over the 10, still going. He's down to about the 5. Now we're going to come into the right-hand side. Walters tries offloading it there. Is that a try? Farrell, he's not celebrating, so I don't think he got his hand to it. They've got no try on the field. It was a scruffy last play, really, because it was an offload by Walters that didn't really get where he intended it. And then it got knocked for... It got knocked in goal by, I think it might have been a Hull player. Farrell went in trying to ground the ball, but who got there first, we'll find out now, hopefully. I'm not quite sure what's going on with Sky here. They've lost some of the graphics. We're not seeing replays. We're still waiting. Farrell didn't celebrate as though he got his little finger to it, so like I say, we're not seeing a replay currently. No try was the call on field. No try. It's a goal line dropout. We've not seen a replay of it, so I'm not sure what's going on there. It must have been grounded by the Hull player. And it is a goal line dropout. Are they going to go for a cheeky, like Lee did early on, a cheeky 10 metre restart, trying to gain possession? What's the referee saying? Yeah, there's no third referee at the minute. They are going short. Box kick. Who's going to pick up that ball? Oh, that's backfired. Forber's picked it up. He's put it in for a try for Wigan. That was a real... Do you know? And obviously, there's no video ref at the minute. So they went for the box kick from under the post for the goal line dropout. Plenty of height on it. However, there's a little bit of handbags at 5 yards. However, nobody really got a clean catch. Kieran was in there causing mayhem, and it was just a lucky bounce then for Forber. Picked it up, ran in unopposed. Try for Wigan. And currently no video ref. And there's no clock either. They're having a shocker. So it's currently Hull 4, Wigan 26 with a conversion to come. Hearing on conversion kicking duties. Still waiting for Kieran to take this kick. He's getting the bird off the crowd. He certainly does. Right through the middle. Yeah, it was. I'm not sure if that would have been disallowed if they'd have had a video ref, because Kieran came right over the top of everybody and caused a little bit of chaos. We're back underway anyway. Mago's going to drive it forward up to his 10. He's still going. Up to his 15. He's still going. Now the referee calls held. Gained a good 5-6 metres after contact there. Walters brings it forward. He gains about an inch after contact. And Semba drives it in. He makes a good 2 or 3 metres after contact. Over Wigan's 40. What's going on with the tackle counts? And can't tell you what tackle we're on with no stats. I'm going to guess we're on about the 4th. On halfway, and Semba picks up a loose pass. He's literally centre field on the halfway line. I think this is a 5th tackle. So Smith's going to put a kick in. He goes high. It's going to land about 10 metres out. Driven back. Hull will be starting 15 metres out from their own line. Now this central. Barron. He drives it forward. Good player, Barron. One out rugby at the minute from Hull, trying to get some field position. Bamford in at dummy half, spreads it to the right hand side. Trying to go around the edges there. Fash tries to break the line, straightening it up to the 40. There's a kick coming in now. It's a high kick. It's going to land about 15 yards out. Field takes it, then he's tackled straight away. Goes to ground. Wigan will be starting 15 yards out. Marshall drives it forward, up to the 20. Then that ball's been knocked out, surely. You could tell the way it came out, yeah. Referee says there was a hand involved there. That'll be a penalty to Wigan on their own 20. The ball came out like a bar of soap. It wasn't very subtle. Who was the culprit? Who came in there? Number 25, Bamford. Or Barmforth. Barmforth, if you want to be posh. So Wigan will be starting from 45 yards out, inside their own half. Walters up to the halfway line, gets over the halfway line. It's a couple of yards after contact as well. Good effort there from the big number 21. Dupree gets the offload to Farrell, inside to forward, back to Mago. Mago's up to the 30. In Hull's half, that is. Dupree again driving it forward, looking for an offload. Makes no yards there. Forber in at dummy half. I think there's 4 tackles gone. Ignore that down there. All the stats, they're all over the place. There's something going amiss at Hull. There's no video referee at the moment. There's no time on screen. There's no tackle count. All we've got is second, informing us it's the second half, and the score. Evan French into the line, breaking to the right hand side. Dummies, then gets tackled. This will be the 5th tackle coming up. Kieran's in there. No need for that, Kieran. Just let him get on with the game. No need for that. He likes a scrap, doesn't he? High kick comes in from Harry Smith, looking for Insemba. Barron picks that one up. I think it might have been knocked on. Might be a high tackle and a penalty here as well. Yeah, high tackle, so it'll be a penalty to Hull. Just getting a little bit tetchy this game. Both teams are giving it a little bit of verbals towards each other. Wardle getting involved. Kieran took exception as well. So Hull will be starting on their own 30. Down the right-hand side, Wigan wait. And Sember in with a tackle with Harry Smith. Wardle's there. Brad Fash is trying to get involved. Barnforth going down the right-hand side now with Fash. Close to the sideline, hits the floor. No attempt to push him into touch though. Tackle was completed. Throwing it around Hull. Nothing to lose, have this scoreline of Hull 4, Wigan 28. How long's left? 20 odd minutes. Couple of quick tries would make it interesting. Oh my word, who was that? Abersmithsky with a tackle there. Absolutely. Who was that who he caught? Perfect tackle. Oh, and it was somebody from Hull who was giving it a bit of that verbals to the Wigan players as well. I think it was Rapana, was it? Yeah, I think it was Rapana who got flattened there by Miski, lined him up and he didn't miss. Farrell drives it forward, up to Wigan's 45 metres out, pretty central, Forber at dummy half. Spreads it left to Walters. Walters up to the halfway line. Gets a good effort there. This is better. See Walters there. He dragged her. He made about 10 yards after contact, dragging 3 Hull players with him. So why don't you do that more often? Oh, lovely. Quick hands there from Wigan down the left-hand side. Marshall on the outside. Back into Jay Field. He's over the line. Into Wardle. And the ball goes down under the post for a try. Lovely quick hands there from Wigan down that left-hand side. It was Field involved there. There was a missed pass. The gap. Field ran into it. Wardle to Marshall. Back inside. Nothing Hull could do about that. They were just spectators, really, in that passage of play. Field broke the line and Hull just couldn't cope with his pace. And I'm pretty sure that's this game over. It was a lovely pass actually from Cade Ellis. And it was Field out to Marshall, then Marshall back inside to Wardle. And a leisurely grounding of the ball for Wardle. And it'll be an easy conversion to come as well. I was going to say there was not a fantastic crowd in tonight, looking towards the left-hand side where the Wigan fans are and that, but towards this right-hand side, good turnout for Hull. So it was just that section of the stadium that looked a little bit empty. Kieran won't miss this, I should say. Quick shout out why he's going to slot another 2 points onto Wigan's tally. Don't forget to join us tomorrow lunchtime. I think it's a 1 o'clock kickoff. Keep your eye out in notifications. We've got Wisła Kraków away at Ruch Chorzów. Any Polish fans watching tonight? Dzień dobry wieczór. Nie mówię po polski, angielski. Dziękuję bardzo. We've got Wisła away at Ruch Chorzów. It's going to be the biggest attendance, I think, over 50 odd thousand in the stadium. So they've got a few issues of Wisła as well, but we'll go through that tomorrow. So don't forget, join us for that one. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, ping that notifications bell so you don't miss any streams. And if you can give us a thumbs up, that'd be superb. Also, feel free to leave us a comment. Hull will get us back underway. Wigan with Thompson drive it up to the 10. That's where they'll be starting from. 60. Oh, we've got the clock back now. And the tackle count. So maybe we'll have the video referee back as well. And Sember driving it towards the 30. That's where he's grounded. 3 tackles gone. Cade Ellis getting up towards the halfway line. Forber's been replaced again by Lehman. That's the interchange. 5th tackle. Smith with a high kick from the halfway line. It's going to land on the 20-metre line. Barron goes up. Had a good game as Barron. And Custin at dummy half. Spreads it inside. Chamberlain gets to about the 25-metre line. Or 25 yards, whichever. And that's where he's down. Hull still struggling to get up to their own 30. They're about 25 metres out. 3 tackles gone. The bull that is SASA drives it forward. Hull in this second half, they've been pretty fluid with who's been playing dummy half for them, that's for sure, and it sped the game up a little bit, trying to stop Wigan getting the defence set. 5th tackle, kick comes in, Miski takes it on his own 20, runs inside, he's running across field, now he straightens it up. Wigan will be starting from their own 20. French in at dummy half, spreads it left to Marshall, Marshall will drive it forward, almost up to the 30, gets a cheeky offload there to Harry Smith, inside to Bevan French. French is up to the 40, keeping going, can't break free though, just short of the halfway line. Lehman in at dummy half, 1 out to Thompson, Thompson's over the halfway line. 3 tackles completed. Short past the to Harry Smith, inside to Farrell, Farrell trying to break the line, no gap there though, can't get the offload away, just as well because Lehman wasn't even looking for it. Lehman's in at dummy half, Ellis inside, Ellis drives it forward, he's not going to get the offload, wrapped up. Final tackle, Wigan on Hull's 20. Excuse me. Goes left to Smith. Tries to put a little chip through. It hits Brad Fash. Brad Fash has knocked it on. Did he play at the ball? He was only a yard away from Smith when he put the kick in. So which way is the referee going to give this? We've seen a replay now as well. It did come off his hand. Whether he played it or not, I'm not too sure. The referee says you did, so it's a head and feed to Wigan. About 15 yards out, centre of the field. He's a little bit unlucky there, Brad Fash, to be honest. So Wigan coming down the right-hand side. Jayfield under the post. That was far too easy. So from that scrum, ball came out the back. It was a ball to Smith to the right-hand side, and then back inside, Jayfield got the pass and just split the defence wide open. There was no enthusiasm in defence there from Hull at all, which is disappointing. Set piece from Wigan, but yeah, everybody moving towards the left, and Field just came back in on, straightened it up on Wigan's left. Nothing Hull could do about that. And this is what we weren't seeing last night. And that's 3 tries tonight, isn't it, for Jayfield? Hat-trick. The easy kick coming up for Kieran, right under the post. So, yeah, we weren't seeing this last week against Lee. And is it because Lee weren't allowing it to happen, or is it because Wigan were concentrating on defence more? Difficult to say, but they're certainly breaking the line here, the whole line, with ease, with gay abandon, as they say. 67.5 minutes gone. Hull 4, Wigan soon to be 40. With just over 18 minutes to go, Hull need the final whistle now. There's a chance this gets a little bit ugly for them. In fairness, the Hull fans have stayed with the team. Back underway. It's going to be Bevan French to pick it up 5 yards out. Comes inside to Liam Byrne. Yeah, Liam Byrne's back on. Thompson over his 20. Gets about 25 yards, leaning in at dummy half. He spreads it left to Walters. Walters was on the substitutes bench against Lee, I think, last week, and I didn't see him come on. Cade Ellis driving it forwards. He's going to get towards the halfway line, just short. 4 tackles gone, leaning in at dummy half. Spreads it left to Smith. Smith to Walters. I think that was Marshall coming inside, but he slipped, so now it's with Wardle, and he's got no winger. They're going to try and push Wardle out of touch. Walters is in there making sure that doesn't happen. 5th tackle comes up. Marshall goes in at dummy half. Inside to Harry Smith. Plenty of time to put a kick in. It's going to land about 5 metres out. Rapana with the catch. Evades the first tackle, spreads it inside. And then Barron gets to about 12 yards out. That's where Hull will be starting from. Hull trying to get up towards their own 30. Just short, centre field. 3 tackles gone. Trying to come down the right hand side now with Fash. Fash has dropped the ball there. That'll be a knock on. Head and feed to Wigan. Disappointed there with himself, Brad Fash, but it was a... He was a little bit unlucky. He got his arm pulled away, but no contact on the ball. Got to hold it tighter than that though, Mr. Fash. Good player. Always interesting to watch him. He's not putting tackles in, he's trying to break lines. Got a bit of a more conservative mullet as well this year as Brad Fash. Quick update with the Super League. Warrington 18, Catalan 6. I had a feeling in that game Warrington were going to put 5 or 6 tries on. Chance for Wigan in the corner with Miski. What a great tackle that is. There was a floated miss pass. Well, it wasn't floated, it was like a power pass. What? Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It was a good pass out to Abbas Miski. Missed a couple of players out. It was Bevan French. And then there was Miski going into the corner. Thought he was just going to put the ball down. And who's that, number 5? Briscoe. Came over with a flying tackle. Pulled Abbas Miski into touch. So it'll be a restart for Hull on their own 10-yard line. Can only make 2 metres on that first tackle. Now they're up to their own 22 with Barron. Throwing it about now. Throwing it about Hull. No point in not doing. Now they're trying to break the line there. Walters with a tackle. Wardle finishes it off with Smith. Fashi's in at dummy half. 3 tackles gone. Now they're trying to come down the left-hand side. Now they straighten it up into Farrell, into Lehman and Cade Ellis. Finishing the tackle off on Wigan's 45-metre line. Coming down this left-hand side once again. French with a good tackle. Up to Wigan's 30. 5th tackle. You're going to be putting a high kick in. It's a high kick. Pretty central, actually. Field takes it at the second attempt. Evades Brad Fash. Now he passes it to Marshall. Marshall's tackled straight away. Didn't really thank Field for that pass. Gets out to about his 5-yard line. Smith in at dummy half. Out to Field. You need to hit the floor because otherwise they're going to drag you into touch. He gets to the 10-yard line. Then he does hit the floor. Smith in at dummy half. Inside to Wardle. Wardle makes about 7 yards there. Up to about his 17-yard line. Walters over the 20. Straightens it up. Gets to about 25 yards out there. Lehman in at dummy half. He goes right to Thompson. Thompson evades the first tackle. Little offload to Farrell. Farrell to Abbas Miski. Miski's got Kieran on his outside. Kieran's opened his legs now down that wing. He needs to come inside. He's running to touch. Otherwise, he comes inside and finds Bevan French. Bevan French plonks that ball down. That will be another try to Wigan. That burst of pace there from Kieran. That did for the whole defence. And he made a good choice as well, because if he'd have tried to take the defender on the outside, the touchline was not his friend. So fortunately, he had Bevan French inside supporting, found French with a good pass. Hard work had been done. French was just able to plonk the ball down over the line. Quick hands there. It was a good offload from Thompson to Farrell. Quick hands from Farrell to Miski. Miski to Kieran. Kieran inside with a nice pass there. And a quick jink over the line. Another 4 added to Wigan's total. Full 4, Wigan 44. 74.5 minutes gone. Conversion to come. And Kieran's had his kicking boots on tonight, so you'd expect him to get the added 2. I think he's only missed 1 kick all night. Psychologically, Hull want to keep this under 50. 51 is far worse, or 50 is far worse than 49. Psychological, isn't it, with them round numbers?
Get it out, mate.
85% success rate tonight for Adam Kieran. Taking his time here is Kieran. Kieran. That's another 2 added to his tally. Quick shout out, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button, ping that notifications bell. If you can give us a thumbs up, that's superb. If you want to email us, email me, I'm Jimmy James. Email address is catchitlivefirst@gmail.com. Just under 5 minutes to go. Hull get us back underway. Miski picks the ball up inside to Liam Byrne. Liam Byrne drives it forward up to his own 20. Pretty central. Lehman in at dummy half. Comes inside short there to Thompson. Thompson's trying to get towards his 30. Makes good yardage again after contact, does Thompson. Gained about another 5 yards there. Lehman in again at dummy half. Goes left to Walters, sorry. Walters over the 40. Starting to look a little bit tired now, holding the tackle, to be honest. Bevan French over the halfway line. Farrell misses the ball, carries on through the line. Now they're coming down the right-hand side, though, Wigan. Little rubber kick comes in. It's picked up by Hull. Abasmiski's been pinged there. Fought, messing about the play of the ball. A little bit unlucky. Done up. Yeah, well done. They tried milking a penalty there, did Hull. And as Abasmiski was trying to get up, they pulled his leg back and then stepped over him, making it look as though he was interfering with the play of the ball. Referee saw it, gave Wigan a penalty. First tackle, Smith, he's over the 10. Brad Fash is in there, stopping him. So Wigan on the 10-yard line, right under the post. Cade Ellis, what's he going to do? No momentum, stops, takes the tackle. Leeming in at dummy half, 8 yards out, under the post, goes left forward, past them. Yeah, referee's pinged him there. It was a forward pass to Liam Byrne. He just got his timing a little bit wrong there. Just trying to bulldoze himself over the line. Referee saw it. It'll be a scrum, head and feed to Hull. Cesar still moaning over the penalty where he pulled Abasmiski's leg back into the tackle, then fell over it deliberately. Got to be a little bit craftier than that. I wonder how many times tonight I've said Hull KR when I mean Hull FC. I don't think I have. Now I've said it, it'll be in my mind again. Hull go left from the scrum. French with the tackle. They're over their own 20. Briscoe, tackled by Thompson and Cade Ellis. Up to their own 30. Now they're over their own 40. That was SAS driving forward. 3 tackles gone. Over the halfway line. Centre field. Almost up to 40 actually. Trying to come down the right hand side now. There's no room there. You're going to go into touch. You're going to go into touch. Wigan have got that down to a fine art. It was a Hull play with the ball. There was Walters. There was Wardle. Wardle was the first player there who got underneath the player. And then they were like sharks. Marshall was over there. Farrell was over there. Walters was over there. Wardle was already in the tackle. You're going over the sideline. If you're within 10 yards of that sideline when you've got that ball, first thing that's got to be going through your mind is I'm not going into touch. Because Wigan, as soon as they make the tackle, they pounce. And they're not just putting you on the floor, they're lifting you up and then you're going over the sideline. It's a potent weapon that they've got. I know all teams try and do it, but for some reason Wigan just seem fantastic at it. And they must practice it a hell of a lot. Leeming in at dummy half, comes to the right to Thompson. Thompson over the halfway line. 2 tackles gone. Referee calls held. Leeming in at dummy half. Goes left to French who's in the line. Short pass to Cade Ellis. Ellis straightens it up. He's over the 40 looking for an offload. He's wrapped up though, so he'll take the tackle. 3 tackles gone. Leeming. Dummy half goes left to Harry Smith. Smith to French. French fakes the kick. Goes to Field. Field does put the little chip over the top. Rapana, he picks the ball up though and returns it. He gets to about 23, 24 yards out. Tackled by Walters and Wardle. They're all wrapped up there and that's the final play of the game. A good win for Wigan. Hull 4, Wigan 46. After last week, they'll have put a few demons to bed with that scoreline. It's not often you'll get Wigan scoring nil. They've nilled teams before, but they don't often not score themselves. So on that note, you can say normal service has been resumed. I'm going to go get showered, get something to eat. Thanks for joining me, Ben Goble. It's been my pleasure talking to you in the chat. Just Jade. That's my cousin, by the way, lives in Wigan. Good to talk to you. And join us tomorrow for Wisła Kraków away at Ruch Chorzów. I'll take this opportunity to say, if you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button, ping that notifications bell, and if you can give us a thumbs up, that would be superb. I am Jimmy James. You've been watching Catch It Live first. Thanks for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening and have a fantastic weekend.